Imagine being the youngest in a big family and knowing deep down that your life has a special purpose. That's Joseph's story. He wasn't perfect, but God had placed something inside him that would one day change history. Joseph was one of 12 brothers, the sons of Jacob. And from the start, there was tension in the family. You see, Jacob loved Joseph more than the others. He was the child of Jacob's old age. And to show that love, Jacob gave him a beautiful, colorful coat. Not just any coat. This was the kind of robe that made Joseph stand out wherever he went. And that's exactly what caused trouble. His brothers noticed the favoritism. Every time Joseph walked by in that coat, it was like a reminder. Dad loves him more. Resentment grew. Then came the dreams. One night, Joseph dreamed that he and his brothers were in the fields tying bundles of grain. Suddenly, Joseph's bundle stood tall, while his brothers' bundles all bowed down to his. He told them the dream, probably without realizing how it sounded. Another time, he dreamed that the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed to him. Now imagine how his brothers felt, already jealous, already hurt. And now Joseph is saying, "One day, you're all going to bow down to me." Whether Joseph meant to brag or not, it stung deeply. The Bible says they hated him even more. One day, the brothers were out in the fields far from home. Jacob sent Joseph to check on them. As Joseph approached, wearing that colorful coat, the brothers saw him coming in the distance, and bitterness boiled over.
They said, "Here comes the dreamer."
Some wanted to kill him right then, but instead, they decided to throw him into a pit. Later, when a caravan of traders came by, they sold Joseph as a slave heading toward Egypt. Before leaving, they took that beautiful coat, dipped it in goat's blood, and brought it back to their father Jacob. When Jacob saw it, he wept uncontrollably. He believed Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. His heart was broken. Meanwhile, Joseph, just a teenager, was on his way to a foreign land, betrayed by his own family. But the story doesn't end there. Because even in Egypt, God was with Joseph. Joseph served in the house of a man named Potiphar. Everything Joseph touched seemed to succeed because the Lord was with him. Potiphar noticed and placed him in charge of his whole household. But when false accusations came against him, Joseph was thrown into prison, an innocent man. Even there, in the darkness of prison, Joseph found favor. He interpreted dreams for Pharaoh's officials. And one day, word reached Pharaoh himself. Pharaoh had disturbing dreams that no one could explain. Joseph was brought before him.
"I can't do this on my own, but God can give Pharaoh the meaning."
The dream meant 7 years of plenty were coming, followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph suggested storing up food during the good years to survive the hard ones. Pharaoh was so impressed that he placed Joseph, once a slave, once a prisoner, in charge of the entire land of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. Think about that. The boy who was sold, betrayed, and forgotten now stood as a leader used by God to save lives. When famine spread across the world, even Joseph's brothers had to come to Egypt to buy food. They didn't recognize him at first. Years had passed, but Joseph recognized them. In one of the most moving moments in the Bible, Joseph revealed his identity. His brothers were terrified. After all, they had sold him into slavery. But Joseph wept and said, "Do not be afraid. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." That's the heart of Joseph's story. Life took him through betrayal, slavery, and prison. But through it all, God was weaving a plan far greater than anyone could see. And maybe that's the reminder for us today. Even when life feels unfair, even when others hurt us, God is still at work behind the scenes. What others mean for harm, God can turn for good.